Good evening. I feel like I owe y'all this video. It's been so long since I've seen y'all. Excuse the ugliness, the wretchedness. Y'all know I come how I come, regardless of the fact. But I'm actually in the middle of reading. I have an assignment that's due for class tomorrow. That got to be done. But I've been in nursing school. This is my LPN-RN transition. I've been in this program for about 4 weeks now. They actually count the very first week of school as 1 week. You know, usually we count after that. But no, I've been in school for 4 weeks. Excuse me. Within those 4 weeks, I done took 2 exams and I had a skill check off. Now, my skills check off is something I'm going to get more in depth to, and then I'm going to tell you about my exams, and I'm going to actually tell you about my courses. So, the courses I'm taking. One course is, of course, my med-surg. So, my med-surg course, I'm actually taking with people who started in the nursing program last semester. So, this is their second semester in the nursing program. So, it's an advance for me because I had to skip first semester because I'm already an LPN. So, I come in and partner up with this other class, but they still separate us from LPN-RN transition and then separate them. But we get our lectures together through WebEx because everything is virtual. We do go on campus every now and then for lab, but it's sporadic. It's not continuous. Like, we do go in this Friday. And we was also in last Friday. But 2 classes I'm taking. One is advanced placement to LPN-RN. That's my med-surg course, and another one is transition LPN to RN. That's my LPN to RN, the transitional. That's more like a nursing fundamentals, I'm assuming. However, let's get into some grades, okay? So we had our first test, which was in our LPN to RN transitional class, that if I would have studied, I would have killed it. Not killed it, but had a passing grade. You need a 78 or higher on each exam. But I will get into that criteria in a minute. I had a 77. And I literally looked at that stuff probably a little bit before the test. I really didn't study. And it really showed. I was there to make it, but I didn't. So, it's cool. I'm going to do better. I'm going to brush myself off. And that was that. I had to meet with my instructor, and she felt the same way. She was like, oh, you probably just need to slow down on how you read the questions, because you had one answer right this one time, but then you second changed this answer. And she was just like, you was there. I'm not really worried about you. I could see if you had a 50 or a 60. She you were literally right there. And she just wasn't worried. She was just like, take your time. And she was pretty okay. We had an exam today in our med-surg, and I actually got an 81. If I wish they round, it would have been an 82, but they don't round here. It was 81.66. I was very excited about that because when I get into this criteria, you guys, y'all gonna realize how fucked up. Not fucked up, but how it's kind of crazy that this situation is. So as y'all know, I do attend a community college for my LPN-RN Bridge program. I actually got a little history with this school. I tried to do the traditional back in the day. Life happens, got pregnant, went the LPN route, and now I'm here. So their criteria is very, very strict. But this program, I could tell it's a bond program. You just got to really dedicate yourself, because once people see their name on a resume, they're going to hire you. And for it to be a community college, it's really up there with a lot of nice, big known, well nursing schools. So that's a good thing. So basically, since I am an LPN to RN, my first semester, I am taking 2 nursing classes. One is advanced placement, and the other one is transition. My advanced placement is actually my med-surg. With that being said, Friday, was a real busy day for me. Last Friday was a really busy day. That was one of my first day of having an exam for my transitional class, which is like nursing fundamentals. And I also had to get signed off for my skill checkoffs. So we had to do 3 skills. 2 of them we already knew. The third one was a random pick by the instructor. And the 2 that was already like the main ones was, of course, sterile gloving, I should say. And I had to do peg tube feeding. And then the third one was either between sterile wound dressing, trach suctioning, and Foley catheterization, either on the male or female, just depending on what the provider did. And I think that's it. So we actually would have set times. We had 3 days to practice. We had to get signed off on our checkoffs within the first 2 weeks of school. So we met with them September 1st. And they talked about it. So by September 2nd or 3rd, mine was 3rd and the 4th, I had to practice. And then the next week was the 10th, and then I tested out on the 11th. So I missed one of them because I had to work, but I ended up making it to the one on the 4th. And then I made it to the one on the 10th, and then I tested out on the 11th. But prior to that, I had to take my transitional test. And how the criteria is for the school is that their cumulative grade you need to have to continue on and to pass is a 78%. And it sounds like, oh, that's not bad, but 78% is really like a low C, I want to say, because the grading scale is different. I think I went over the grade. No, I don't know if I went over the grading scale with y'all, but I don't even have a syllabus, but basically, an 84 is just like how my LPN was. I really don't want to go lower than 84. That's just how I try to keep myself in here. But this is different from LPN school. I mean, I still remember a lot of stuff that my instructors from LPN school told me because I had some bomb instructors. So I'm not doubting them or nothing. If I really apply myself, I probably could get the 84. And I have been applying myself now because I had to get a rude awakening and a little bit of humbleness after last Friday. So we took our test for our transitional class from LPN-RN, and it was like, the basic nursing function, the scope of practice. Then it was like some other stuff. By it being, the first test, you never know what to expect. You don't know how it's going to be worded. So I technically, in a sense, kind of did not take it as serious as I should. I was working a lot that week. That was my busy week too. And it was just crazy. So I ended up, like I said, you overall needed 78%. So you can have, I'm not going to say you can have a low grade, but you have to, the thing is, okay, so we get writing assignments, we get homework, but the only thing that's really a pass and failing for us is our exams. We take 5 exams for both classes. All 5 exams, that's including with the final, have to equivalent to either 78% or higher. Okay? So, when you're getting your scores, you cannot have a 60 on one test and then be all over the place. You gotta go 78 or higher. Okay? So, I was pretty upset because I feel like if I really would have took the time out and just study everything or just look over stuff, instead of worrying about what she's going to talk about. I don't even know what she's going to talk about. Is she going to bring this up? Instead of, I was picking and choosing little stuff that I thought she might did. But she actually did everything we talked about from day one. On that transitional exam. And you needed 78. I had a 77.1. I was 0.9% away from passing. So sad. So sad. But it's okay. I met with her. She was just like, you was almost there. I'm not really worried about you. Just, actually put your study in, slow down, read a question. You're going to be fine. I really think you're going to be fine. And that was nice to hear from her already in the beginning of this program. So it kind of gave me some motivation to do better. So with that being said, today in our med surg class, we had a test. and it was on respiratory system. And this is like the topics were COPD, pneumonia, tuberculosis, sleep apnea, ABGs. I think that's everything. I can't remember. But I actually got an 81% on that. I did really good. Out of 60 questions, I missed 11. And that's really not bad. Because it was a lot of information. The difference between LPN school and RN, I can tell you, is that RN really do get more in depth. Like LPN, it is really basic knowledge based. And I mean, my LPN teacher did tell me a lot of stuff that my RN instructor is telling me now, but it really is y'all a different ball game. Like, you really need to know all these different signs and symptoms for each system. You need to know this, especially with them ABGs. We went over that in LPN school, and we just went through like the pH, all this stuff. But like, once you get in RN school, you got to actually know what caused this, what caused that, what is this, what is that, what's the size effect. I mean, what is the signs and symptoms? Is it this, is it that? It was so much in depth. I was like, damn, I didn't even know this, because I was like, I like ABGs, I did questions, but I still do like ABGs. I'm not gonna even lie. I think I did really good on my test. I might go over and ask her like what questions should I focus on for the final, because our final gonna be accumulative anyway. So I'm definitely gonna meet up with her so we can discuss, because I'm about to engage into how I can keep being better and better on these exams. Period. I don't want the bare minimum. I want to pass knowing I bust my ass for real. Like, I'm not trying to fly by none of it. But I really do like the program so far. I'm gonna try to figure out some ways to do some study with me. I know we do Kaplan. I do little practice questions. I look at a lot of YouTube videos, but I did just recently download and bought nursing.com. And even though some of the lab values is different from the lab values that we use, it still gets you prepared for NCLEX. They got a lot of good stuff on there, on this app. I do that, and I also do, I pretty much do that. And I got a whiteboard, and I write on my whiteboard, but I was doing that. I don't know if y'all was familiar about that. But, so far, we done had writing assignments that's due Friday. We got a math exam that's due. Our schedule is really, really crazy. Every day they send us something new to us, and it's like ridiculous. Like, emails overwhelming, Blackboard overwhelming. You have to stay up on this. So what I do is I have my Erin Condren planner, my little stethoscopes on the back. So I write stuff in my planner, and I write stuff on I got a desk calendar, but I hang it up on my wall. I write stuff on there. I put my grades in here so I can keep up with my grades. I got an assignment. I'm trying to really get into the whole decorating and setting up my planner, but it's just so much with nursing school. It's only so little, and I'm still working full time. So it's like everything that I put in this planner be my freaking life. Okay. For the month of September, it says, you are beautiful, capable of, I'm trying to read it. You are beautiful, capable, and worthy. Like, I need quotes like this, because nursing school be drowning you. And you feel like, am I ready for this? Am I prepared? But I was really okay with my test today. Like, after I took it, I was like, I don't know. I feel like it was good. Because let me tell y'all, when I took my respiratory test in LPN school and I flew through that, and I was like, oh, that was easy. I felt that bitch so hard. I think I had like a 70 on there. I don't know. But I did not do good at all. So when I actually did very well and got an 81, and I mean, even though that's still a C on their grading scale, but for real, I did great compared to my LPN. It's a lot of stuff. Like, it's a lot of case studies. Care plans you really got to do. You got to really think thorough into. They got us writing papers. They got us doing iHuman. This thing called iHuman is another like case study that's like online that you gotta do. They show you how to assess the patient. You doing blood pressures on this thing. Everything is crazy, and I'm just like, wow, this is what I do now, but it's really like for real. Wow, I'm really in the whole ass RN program that I dreamed of being in since I was in my younger 20s. Oh, I recently just had a birthday, August 30th. But anyway, that's rather here or there. But it's just crazy how fast this is going already in this week 4. So, only good thing is I say our tests are separated. We get 5 different exams, so it's like we get a test per month. You gotta consume. But the good thing is, like I said, we get 2 exams per month, like from 1 in each class per month. We got a little bit of math in between for one of the courses. It fit in somewhere in one of the courses. It's a whole different teacher. She come in every now and then. I'm up to part on my assignments. Like I got an assignment that's due Thursday that I'm gonna do today. Do tomorrow, I guess on Tuesday. But I'm gonna find some time to actually do like a study with me and figure out how I can contribute you guys into my journey for real. Because this is a big ever-changing journey. And I want y'all to be here, whether I pass, fail, move forward, restart somewhere else. We got to be in this together. Because we's in it together through LPN. We're going to be in together through RN. I'm not changing for nobody, okay? Okay. But we did have a skills last Friday as well. Like I said, sterile gloving, peg tube feeding, and then the other 3 were either Foley catheter, sterile wound dressing change, and trach suctioning. Usually they do trach suction and trach care, but this time they limited trach suctioning. So I was so happy because I love trachs, and I just really thought I was gonna get the Foley, because for some reason my fingers was not being a blessing to the vagina on them Foley catheters. Like, the hole was too tight. We had to spray lube on her to soften her up. It was just all bad. But when I actually did my skills, I got trach, and I love trachs. So, I passed my skills with flying colors. I may have missed one little step, but it wasn't an important step. Like, all the steps was important, but it was some that wasn't bolded. Like, I only missed 3 unbolded. Anything after 3, you got to retake just that skill. But don't forget, you're doing 3 skill tests. So if you're missing 3 unbolded ones on all 3, you're going to come back for all 3. They give you 3 chances to come back and remediate. No, they give you 2. You get the 1 chance, and then you get 2 chances after that to remediate yourself. By the 3rd opportunity that you come and take your skills and you still unsuccessful, then you're out the program. You're out the program. I think that's just how it went. You got to try again next year when you could fit into another day program semester. But I did pass all 3. I had, of course, sterile glove, peg tube, and I had the trach suctioning. My instructor, the lady who tested me out, she was really nice, and she was telling me, like, if you need to take a break and breathe, go ahead. She was sweet. So she said I did really good during my skill test out. She said, like I said, I did really good, like, a couple times. Even when I did do something wrong, I correct myself. Like, you can verbally correct yourself. Like, oh, I accidentally touched this already with my sterile gloves. However, I will remove my gloves, perform hand hygiene, do the sterile procedure over, pour the water in this and do the sterile procedure over or whatever. Like, just correct yourself. But you can't keep correcting yourself. I only had to do that one time. And I think that was the only little point I got out of all 3 skills. And I did really good. So my next test out on skills will be a whole full-blown head-to-toe assessment, which we did that in LPN school as well. But it's called data collect. A sister really going to be assessing this time because I'm an RN. Okay. But I'm going to keep y'all updated on more stuff. Stay tuned.